The story of the prodigal son is one of the most moving stories in the Bible, very powerful story in the Bible. It's a story that has inspired a lot of songs. But you know what? This story will sound as an outrage in the ear of any average Jew. Why did I say it will sound as an outrage in the ear of any average Jew? Because of what this young man did. Imagine a young man approaching his father and telling his father, who is still alive, to divide his fortune and give him his own share. By that statement, this young man is telling his father, if you don't want to die, I don't care, but you need to die and give me my own. Because normally, a man's fortune is given to children once the father is no more. But for this child to request this when the father is still alive, is almost like telling his father, I want you dead. There was a Jewish historian who said that in the Palestinian culture, that there was a son who did this. Who did this in our contemporary era? That the father was so outraged that it took 15 good years before the father could agree to sit in the same room with the son to discuss again. 15 good years before they could prevail on the father to accept to stay in the same room and talk with the son. According to him, that once the son made that request, he broke every tie of kinship, every tie, every bond that connected into their family. Now, biblical historians have told us that the story Jesus narrated about the prodigal son, that no Oriental father will do what this father did. What did this father do? To accept a son who went beyond forgiveness. Not only that this son left house, demanded for his fortune while the father was still alive. When he left house, he went and lived in iniquity, in debauchery, in, name it, licentious living. After living this kind of life, the last stroke that broke the camel's back was this son going to a place where pig is being raised, where pig is being reared. Any average Jew, if you read the book of Leviticus chapter 11 and also Leviticus chapter 19, it is explicitly stipulated that no Jew should ever have anything to do with pig meat, pork meat. No Jew should ever have anything to do with it. Even they are not even allowed to raise pig. They are not even allowed to raise pig. If you read 2 Maccabees chapter 6, you will remember the story of Eliezer. Why was Eliezer killed in the Bible? Eliezer was killed because he refused to eat pork meat. Even when his friends told him, Eliezer, we love you so much. No problem. We are going to allow you to bring any meat of your choice to eat before the people so that they will think you have eaten pork meat. Eliezer said, over my dead body, I cannot live life of falsehood in this my old age. I'd rather die with honor than to deceive my people. Eliezer died because he refused to eat pork meat. Now, move to 2 Maccabees chapter 7. You will read the story of 7 children, 7 sons and their mother who died because they refused to eat pork meat. So Jewish people don't mess around pork meat. It's one of the things they detest so much. It's so unclean that they don't identify with it. In fact, to tell you how these people regard eating of pork meat as something terrible, a Jewish historian called Josephus said that in the Jew of Herod's days, if you want to live a long life in the house of Herod, pray to become Herod's pig than to become his wife or child. If you want to live a long life and you're in the household of Herod, pray and wish to become Herod's pig than to become his biological son or child or even wife. According to him, that by Jewish dietary laws, Herod is not permitted to kill pig. He's not permitted to eat pig. And because he's not permitted to eat pig, he cannot kill you. But Herod was so power drunk that Herod killed his wife, killed many of his sons. Even we were told by Josephus that when the end of Herod was nearing, and then he sensed that nobody will mourn him when he is no more, he gave order that all the noble men in Israel be arrested and imprisoned. And once he gave up the ghost, all of them should be killed. And they were killed. So that when people are mourning the dead, those ones, people will think they are mourning for Herod. So Herod was such a tyrant that Joseph would say, if you desire to live a long life, pray to become his pig than to become. So being a pig is the only thing that will give you a chance of long life. This is to tell you how they detest pig meat. Now, this son, of all places, he will go for help. He went to a man who is raising pig. The day that he went there and was requesting to be given leftover reserved by pigs. This boy has gone beyond redemption. But there was a father who was willing to forgive the unforgivable. That is why we are told that no Oriental father will accept such a son. But Jesus is telling us that we have such a father. So many people want to come home. Very many people want to come home. But do we have a father who is there to receive them? That is number one.